Hi, my friends. We're going to talk about the new moon solar eclipse that's on March 29th. And I'll just right away start with the screen share so you can have a picture of that eclipse. The astronomy of it, there it is. The astronomy of it is it's just after sunrise on the east coast of the United States, so it's just before 7 a.m. And that means you should be able to see it if you're on the east coast. So up in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Vermont, any of those. So east coast, get out there. Hope you have a very clear view. If you have mountains, you probably won't see this because this is happening right at the ascendant. You can tell there's 19 degrees, there's 9 degrees. Anyways, let's get to what this new moon solar eclipse represents. This is the last one in Aries for a long time because we're leaving the Aries Libra opposition. The eclipses for the last 18 months, most of them have been in the Aries Libra opposition, and we're shifting back into Pisces and Virgo. And this is really appropriate for a lot of the planets that are active right now in this chart. And we're going to go into a few of things. But when we have this new moon eclipse in the sign of Aries, Aries represents that initiation factor. It's like taking those steps forward so we're able to really feel that we can feel that energy surge. And it's that opportunity for us to, really move forward and start to initiate something that's important for us. We're going to look at our own Aries area, what house that's in. But that aside, if you don't know what that is, no worries. It's where you're feeling inspired to take some steps forward, but you're not so sure, right? Because when we have a new moon and when it's an eclipse, it has a lot more power to it. It's like throwing a shot of espresso in your regular coffee. It gives you that energy, that drive, that urge to take action, that urge to fight for something that's important for you. It's that pioneering spirit, that spark of what ignites the fire within us. This is fabulous for people who are out there protesting right now and people really stepping up for what it is that they feel they want and believe in. This is across the globe. We're feeling that fighting spirit. Now, bringing it back to more personal, it's like where in your life and your heart and your desires, what is the steps that you're feeling like you really are ready to take some steps? We're feeling restless, and this new moon solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Aries is that nudge to push us forward on that path. And we feel like we don't want to hesitate, but we're hesitating because there's just something here that is where we're unsure. And a piece of it comes from a number of other things that I've already talked about a few times. I want to make sure I have a new share on. There we are. Some of it has come through because of this 9 to 10 degrees of Aries back in March. On March 1st, Venus, this is the chart for it. Venus went retrograde just at 10 degrees of Aries, so right in the same neighborhood as this current new moon solar eclipse. And then on March 15th, Mercury went retrograde at that 9 degrees of Aries as well. Here's all three of those charts together. I'm giving you a little lesson right now. Hold on. We'll get more personal reasons. Here's that solar eclipse right there at the horizon. There is Mercury retrograde is first. There's that 9 degrees. And then here's when Venus was retrograde. So you can see they're all within, 9, 10 degrees. Even the moon was involved with that. Back to the solar eclipse chart. So what we feel with this, with planets that went retrograde right at that highlighted eclipse point, is that there is something that we're needing to reevaluate and to reassess because like information is coming at us just every day feels like a year's worth of information, right? And it's these two retrogrades in Aries with this eclipse give us that opportunity to slow the messaging down. We get to control that, so slow it down in the best way is for you, best way possible for you. And then I want you to spend as much time as you can, really make a point of journaling. I personally am telling, me, I won't set intentions, specific intentions with this new moon solar eclipse because it is not clear. Things are not clear enough for me to make my decisions as to what I would like to do with new moon solar, just how you work with the new moon for rituals, etc. And what I want you to focus on and how I would love you to use this energy, which is just way I can see it, is to journal as much as possible. Journal out like headline things. It's like what you really want. I want to be independent. Well, how do you want to be independent? In what category? You want to be independent? Whatever. Fill in the blank. You know what's going on in your life. And these are choices that you and I get to make. Put them all on paper. And then a number of weeks from now, when Mercury and Venus come back to this ninth degree of Aries, that's when we can start to manifest some things. I'll give you those approximate dates. So the first one will be approximately April 25th, 26th, when Mercury gets back to that ninth degree of Aries. And then Venus's date will be approximately, here it is, it's a couple of days, and that is like May 13, 14, 15. I want you to keep those dates in mind because the manifesting, this isn't a typical new moon manifestation. First off, because it's a solar eclipse, and second, because of those retrogrades. So take those two time frames I just gave you, and if you already don't remember it, hit pause and roll back, because wherever you're seeing this, it's recorded, and write those down and really focus on that and pay attention, because when those dates show up, you will have opportunities to then manifest what you've been journaling about and writing about and looking at, because these things are just so important. It's important for us to not overdo it right now. And I think that is one of the big things, because if we're impulsive and just don't think things through right now, we'll pay the price later. Maybe we just need to anyways. If you do, you do, right? There's so many different things we can do while planets are retrograde and while we're in a solar eclipse. There's so many different things we can do. And Neptune at the final degree of Pisces is like, let's tie up a lot of loose ends, right? Bringing hopes and dreams to the final, to a crescendo, if you will. And that's why I want you to journal, and even meditating before you journal, so important to do with all of this energy. This is how I use this new moon solar eclipse with these retrograde planets, with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces. Yeah, work on those hopes, those dreams, really start to pull them together again, get them on a piece of paper, journal, and then when we get to that April and May time frame, like I just mentioned, when Mercury and Venus get back to that ninth and 10th degree of Aries, you have an opportunity to put things back into place, or start initiating things and thoughts and ideas that you have had during this time period. And as well as, let's get back to the screen share. I think I'm screen sharing. I can't tell what I'm screen sharing. Hold on. Let me see. I am. Okay. Right. When Mercury, later in the same day that we have this eclipse, Mercury shifts itself back into Pisces as well. Yeah, that happens like at late at night. It's 12, 13, 14, 15 hours after the new moon. Mercury will shift back into Pisces and conjunct Neptune. And then eventually Neptune and and Mercury, Neptune, and Venus are all at this, very similar, within 1 or 2 degrees of each other, and they're all coming together. So this is when we take, for a couple of days of the eclipse and a couple of days after the eclipse, even though it's a new moon and that's usually a period of manifesting, I want you to use it as a period of incubation, okay? Like incubating an egg. And that's what I want us to do with this energy. And I have a ton more. I'm going to stop my share. The written forecast is out there, and I do a lot of weeklies as well in Patreon. Those of you who are on Patreon, you get to see this first. And so, yeah, come and support me there. I would appreciate that. And thank you so much, you guys. And blessings and namaste.